This is the Ugly Troof. We are in episode 3. You made it this far. Episode 3. What's going on, everybody?
We're rolling. We're rolling.
We are rolling, and we got a good one on hand for you guys.
Oh boy.
We're drinking a couple girly drinks, and we are talking about a very important subject. How much is too much with an ex? Where's the line? Where's the line? How far can you go with the exes? And this is a very relevant topic, and I think a lot of people struggle with this. So we're here to give you some unsolicited advice, what you need to know.
I'd like to reiterate that it's unsolicited. So take this for what it's worth. A lot of this is opinion.
Oh, all of it's opinion.
So I don't know. We might throw a few facts in here, but
that's true.
The fact is, it's just our opinion. You guys,
this is your life. Make your own decisions.
That's it.
This is what we have to say.
This is what we think. Yeah.
So I don't know. Where do we even begin with this one? This is kind of a heavy topic.
It is a heavy topic.
I would say, where is the line? Obviously, you don't want to go sleeping around with your ex. There's a reason you're not together. Stop getting clouded by your old emotions and letting them guide your decisions. That's number one. What would you say? Is there a line? I know. So you are married.
I am.
Obviously, we can ask this question from an individual level. What does the individual need? But also, I guess, what in terms of being in a new relationship, what role does an ex play? I don't know. What's your experience?
I think it really depends on how comfortable you are in your relationship. So, for example, my marriage that I'm in with Leah, we're extremely comfortable with each other. And I think that it's built on trust, right? Like I trust her, and she trusts me. And the fact of the matter is, if one of us was to go out and cheat on the other, we're done. We've had this conversation. There just is no more relationship. You've burnt that bridge. You're done. And we both know that, right? And so I think that that has helped us move forward. Now, I will say that I'm a much more jealous person than my wife. So if her ex was to come into town and ask Leah to dinner, I certainly wouldn't say no, because who am I to do that? But I certainly would have a conversation with her about it. And find out what's this about? Why does he want to have dinner? And maybe she just comes back and says, you know what, he's in town on work. And, I think the fear for most people, Evan, is that you have that fear that just by seeing your ex, feelings are going to spark back up.
And that's not true.
And it's absolutely not true. There's absolutely no truth to that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that it has happened, but I would say that it's extremely rare. Like Evan said,
depending on the distance since the breakup, there's a lot of factors in that. I mean, if it's been 2 weeks,
yes, well,
then yeah, you're going to have some feels that come up when you see him. You're going to be like, oh, my heart, it feels like it can be repaired. Maybe. So that's going to be
okay.
And obviously it depends on who ended the relationship, what were the circumstances. So
yes,
on an individual level for myself, if I'm looking at my ex-girlfriend, just based on how it ended and I can't imagine really going. I wouldn't want to personally have I guess really a friendship, if you will. Like I don't need one. I don't feel the need to have one.
Right.
Personally, just based on how things have ended. But maybe if I was in a relationship and it ended very cordially, or like it ended very all right, a handshake agreement, we had a great time, but not there anymore. And we both can agree upon that. Maybe once in a while we still can be friends. I know people who have exes that somehow they're still integrated into their friend group, and new partners are okay with that because of the relationship dynamic. So it's it is very much an individual thing. And I think you have to know yourself and set your own boundaries, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was married previously, and that did not end well. And so we haven't spoke since. And it's probably for the best. And I wish her nothing but the best. I hope certainly she's found happiness. But my first girlfriend, my first real girlfriend, I mean, let's call it what it is. My first real girlfriend from high school, I'm friends with on Facebook.
Yeah.
And Facebook is an interesting conversation because there are a lot of people that re-spark friendships on Facebook.
That's what it's built for.
That's correct. And so I'm friends with my first girlfriend. And she's got a beautiful family. She lives out in Colorado. There's no threat, right? Like she doesn't live close. We don't have, conversations every night. We don't talk about intimate things. It's like, hey, how you doing? How's the family? It's great to keep in touch, right? And that's really, I think, what Facebook was designed for. But I think a lot of relationships have sparked up into relationships on Facebook, just from the fact that, maybe you start talking with an ex about the troubles you're going through in a current relationship. And maybe your ex is going through the same problems. So that being the case, you have something in common. And the more you talk, the closer you get. And I think that's how sometimes things can start to go awry.
I would say be aware, because when you're just talking with someone over a messenger, there is a very human element that is missing. There's something there. You're not with the person fully. Like you're reading their words, but you're not with them. You're not like, there's an element of communication that's missing. And if you were actually to be in the room with that person, I don't know if your emotions would be the same. But it's deceiving. But
I think part of the problem though, is that so many people have trouble reading what that is. Right. And if you read it wrong, things can go horribly wrong for you.
Oh yeah.
And I think that happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
And so I think you're right, Evan. I think there is a fine line. And I think it's different for everybody, guys. I mean, I have a very trustful relationship with my wife. We know where that line is. We've discussed it. But everyone's line is different. I think there's different levels of jealousy. And I think, it's unfortunate if somebody is so jealous that they don't want their spouse or their girlfriend or their partner to ever speak to someone again. I think if you're at that level, you've got bigger issues and it's something else that you need to probably look into. But I don't think, in my opinion, that you have to completely cut all ties with your ex.
Definitely not. I mean,
and don't get me wrong, some people want to, and that's okay.
Sometimes it might be needed.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
It all depends on how the previous relationship was. Is this ex now a crazy stalker? What is going on? Is she trying to burn your house down?
Right.
We don't know all the details.
Right.
So know yourself well enough to say, okay, I can remain friends with this person, or I need to cut ties completely.
100%.
Because some exes they're the jealous type, even when they're an ex. So they might see you on Facebook, and so you can't have them on Facebook because they're going to be like, oh, look at this woman that you're with now. I was way better than her. And, they're going to cause havoc online. So you might need to delete them off there too. My ex got rid of me on all social media. Yeah. I wasn't the one who initiated it, but that's what she needed to do for her. No hard feelings. Doesn't matter. If I were to see her, if I were to walk by her on the street, I'd say, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. No hard feelings.
See, that's awfully nice of you. See, now if my ex got stalkerish of me and they were stalking me, and I just be like, hey, because, what else are you going to do?
Just, it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay. I don't, unless you're coming to my house, knocking on my door.
Well, there are crazy people.
And then it exists. I mean, look, there are some nuts out there that will do that. In which case, guys, look, call the police. I mean, look, if you're at that point,
don't come to us for that advice.
No. But listen, you can hit us up on Twitter. You can hit us up on Instagram. Ask us any
Tell
question.
us your crazy ex stories.
We would love to hear them, because I think we all have them, right? I think we've all gone through a time that we just shake our head and say, what in the Lord's name was I doing? Because it's like, that is just not human.
Well, crazy is fun in the moment.
Crazy is fun in the moment. It still is.
Yeah, cheers to
Here's
that.
the crazy. Yeah.
Here's the crazy. Long term, maybe not so great. Might burn down your house. Might, go. What's her name? I don't remember the woman's name. Who I'm not going to even go there. Never mind.
Let's just say single white female.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, just do what you got to do for you.
Right. Find out what works best for you and just go with it. I mean, hey, if I'm giving you some advice, if Evan's giving you some advice and you want to try it and it works, great, man. I'm glad it worked.
Oh, yeah. And here's something too. Sometimes exes, they want something called closure. No. Oh my gosh. Now,
I was almost going to end this saying, and he has to come back with closure.
Excuse me. I really need closure. And so
I need a drink.
If they come to you looking for closure, you do not feel obligated to give it to them if you don't want to. And that sounds cruel, but I'm serious, because sometimes this closure is an attempt to open up cans of worms in your own life. Maybe you're doing so well post breakup and it's been however long it's been, and you don't feel the need to meet back up and have these conversations because you've moved on. Why are you obligated to give closure? You don't need to. So don't feel like you have to be dragged back in to these old relationships.
I don't disagree with you, but I think that's on a basis by basis.
Of course.
I mean, look,
maybe it's helpful.
Yeah. I mean, if it helps you and you want to close it out and just be done with it, that's fine.
But if you've already closed it out, there's not a need.
I'm sensing that maybe Evan was in a situation where he possibly was asked for closure, but I
gave in.
But he had already closed the door, maybe. And that happens.
The door was long closed. Yeah, exactly. I'm speaking from experience on that one, in the sense that it almost felt unnecessary in a way. Yeah. At least for me. I don't know what it did. I mean, I don't know what it did for her, but maybe it was good for her to vent and be all pissed off when I got there and whatever.
Sometimes, whatever helps everybody get through life. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to.
Never have hard feelings. Just do what you got to do.
That's it.
And
that's it. Just do what's right for you.
Yeah.
Guys, that's all we're telling you. Just do what's right for you and do what's best, and live your life and be happy. Because guys, my friends, that is the ugly truth.
Cheers to the ugly truth.
Hear, hear.
As you can see, Mr. Ass behind us. He's got our social media handles. Go follow us.
You can see Mr. Ass right here.
Right on his shirt. 2 asses, 1 place.
We're here. Until next time, everybody.
See ya.